So please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
so
fair.
You're more in the category like Luther Arnold. Name?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do
mean,
it? Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile. Smile going on some shoes, but you know.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when
try
it's
this
time,
with
when,
you.
it, when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny
All right,
and start laughing.
do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Find somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Yeah. It's Thursday, y'all. Thursday, y'all. It's Thursday. Thursday. I'm excited because it's Thursday. And the fact that this is the last show of the week, which is kind of nice, taking a little bit of a break over this weekend. So just a big heads up. There will not be a show tonight. There will not be a show Friday or Friday night as well. But I promise you, I will try my best to do some sort of pop-up of some sort whilst I'm gone. All right. It probably won't be anything related to anything that's going on in the news. But it'll be fun to just kind of pop on with you guys and chop it up with you guys and have a great convo. All right. And I'm sure I'll be repeating this later on because I know that people are starting to kind of hop onto the show right now as we speak. But I digress. I hope you guys are having a great and wonderful and productive morning. It is Thursday. It's time to get your asses up. It's time to wake up. It's time to get things moving. You know what I'm saying? Some of us are getting their weekends started today. Some of us are going out of town. Some of us are not. But at the same time, it's only one more day until what? The weekend, y'all. The weekend, y'all. Hey. Anyway, got the brothers in the house. Tommy Boy, Jackie Buck. What's a guan?
Yo, yo, yo. How's it going today? I see that we're supposed to have some pretty nice weather here in St. Louis, and actually no more rain and not like too much of extreme heat. So that's a bonus. And yeah, but overall doing well, getting the coffee in me, and I grabbed this drink, like a Monster Energy drink, and it said it was like a sports drink. And I didn't know that it had a bunch of caffeine in it. So and I thought it was just like a Gatorade. I was like, I'm going to start the early morning, get some Gatorade going through me. I'm going to be outside later because I got to prep beforehand. But now my hands are sweating because I just saw that it has 200 milligrams of caffeine for each serving, and there's 2 servings in this thing.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that would knock me out for the whole day.
Well, 200 milligrams is like a strong, that's like a Starbucks coffee, level. So, but there's 2 of those in there, and then I've already been drinking coffee.
Have a nice day.
I was gonna say he's gonna be real chatty today, so we're gonna have to see about that. Tommy Boy, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's laundry day around here at the Schoenhardt house, and so I'm down to my last shirt. This is a Camp Don Bosco shirt. Ooh, remember Camp Don Bosco?
Yeah. Oh my God!
This is my oldest shirt. I got this shirt in 1999 as a camp counselor, and Camp Don Bosco closed down in like 2005 or something.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I've had this shirt since I was like 18, 19 years old.
Oh. Why they close down?
I don't know. It always smelled like raw sewage there.
Oh, I mean, that's what it was.
I don't know how well the pipes work there, but if you walked around the cabins where the kids would stay at the camp, it was like, that smells like human poop. So, yeah, there were probably safety issues, I would imagine.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, raw sewage is never good for kids.
But, yeah, I don't know. What's your oldest piece of clothing, guys?
That's a very good question.
I have a shirt from high school that was like a memorial shirt for one of the guys that had passed away in high school that actually fell off some train tracks when he was like boxcar spray painting.
Oh,
And,
I
they
went
made
to
him
grade school with him. I was
Yeah.
friends with him.
Yeah, so somebody made a memorial shirt for that, and I still have that shirt. It is in rags, but it still has a neck hole, and I guess what you can call armholes because it goes from the neck down to the bottom like ring of the shirt. So my wife has repeatedly asked me if it can be disposed of, but it's like a keepsake. So,
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny how
that'd be mine.
it's funny how guys, us men are very attached to pieces of clothing. We'll wear something till it falls off our body. I mean, most men. I'm not going to sit here and generalize and say all men are the same, but I don't know about you, but I'm the kind of guy who will literally wear something until I can't wear it no more. Even if it's too small for me, I will still wear it, kind of thing. Maybe not out, but it'll still be in my drawer or put somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like I always have, it's like those T-shirts that just don't fit anymore kind of thing. But I still have them kind of thing. But that's the thing. With this job, when you go and you host things or you MC at different spots, there's always, you're always given like T-shirts, man. You're always given like T-shirts that you'll never wear. So I got like a gang of T-shirts that just they're like terrible cloth. You know what I'm saying? Like they're cheaply made. They don't feel good. It's something that you'd wear if you were gardening or cleaning out the attic type of thing or doing some house work type stuff. But you're not gonna wear that out to the club or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I have a lot of those type of T-shirts. But yeah, a lot of stuff that I have, like some of the oldest stuff I have are items that were my dad's. So like some ties, stuff like that. But there's some things that I just can't. I mean, I can't fit his stuff. I mean, my dad was 5'9". I'm 6'4". You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, hey, I ain't fitting my dad's stuff. But I mean, when I was a kid, like in high school, I was always borrowing shirts. Like I was always stealing shirts from his closet. And so I still have some of those shirts. I don't fit in them anymore. I mean, back then, I was much shorter and much smaller, but I still have them like in my closet tucked away, but yeah, mainly the oldest things that I have are maybe underwear and socks. That's probably the oldest stuff I have.
I think the underwear you're supposed to be changing out more often.
Well, actually, I've been wearing the same pair for the past like 20 years. And for some weird reason, Hanes knows how to make a very strong boxer brief. Let me tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this thing's resilient. It's gone through the fires with me. You know what I'm saying?
Gone through that sugar fire.
Oh, man.
The sugar fire's gone through them.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of which, speaking of that, I do have something that I'm going to be showing. Not today, though. I did not have enough time to finish it up, the piece that I was having planned on playing today. But I will be playing it on Monday when I get back. So for sure, definitely, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. That will be out. I have something very special, fun, a sponsored piece of content that I want to share with you guys because I think it's a lot of fun. But it's going to have to wait until Monday, unfortunately. There's been too many factors just getting in the way this week before this weekend pops off. So unfortunately, the video I have is going to be out on Monday instead. Tanu Vane just said, I still have a few T-shirts from like 15 years ago I wear for pajamas, and even two nicer button-ups I like. I got this sweater from an Irish island called Inishmaan that never seems to get older despite being around 10 years old. It was handmade. Yeah, that's one of the things about the handmade stuff. You know what I mean? Like, for some odd reason, the handmade stuff tends to stick around and last a little bit longer. I don't know why. All the manufactured crap, deteriorates so quickly. And that's what I mean by like the T-shirts that are kind of thrown out. Even like this T-shirt, like this T-shirt was something like was a toss out type of shirt. And I'm still surprised that it's still put together, like it's still together. You know what I'm saying? After all these years. And it's only been a few years, but usually you wear it enough times, after the 5th wash, the damn thing is starting to fall apart. You feel me? So, I got a ton of those. H&M. Let me just say that. Let me say that again. H&M. Usually after, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so inexpensive. I just bought a whole wardrobe in H&M and I only spent $100. Oh my gosh. There's a reason. As soon as you wear it, throw it in the wash, destroyed. H&M, just so you guys know. Great clothing, cheap clothing, looks nice, looks trendy. Wash it 2 times, ruined. Or it shrinks. Like it fits you so beautifully, right? Fits you and you're like, oh man, this button up, all right. And then you wash it once, you can't fit in it anymore. It sucks. Anyway,
I think I know what your problem is. I think you're not reading the how to wash instructions. There's probably like a gentle wash cycle, and it's probably hang dry. It's probably not like a throw it in with everything else type of thing and throw it in the dryer. It's probably like one of those things where like you may have to hand wash it. Like, have you tried looking at the tag?
I'm going to decide to plead the 5th on that. No, yes, of course. I mean, no. So some of them, yes, some of them, no. Some of them are just T-shirts. And for me, it's like, I'm not about to hang out every single shirt that I've bought from H&M. Where am I going to hang that ish? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I just don't. You know what I'm saying? John Caitlin said there's instructions on the tag. That's spoken like a true man right there. There's instructions on the tag? What? But yes, no. I mean, I do read the tags, but at the same time, you still wash them. You could still hang dry them. They still get jacked up. Jack.
Yeah. Okay.
Just saying, man. Why you gotta throw? Man, you know what? I ain't got time for this, man. Like,
click.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. No, I'm just kidding. And that's the show. Like, you guys are just terrible. Y'all just terrible. Real talk. Anyway, yeah. So like I said, a lot of old stuff I don't fit anymore, but they are tucked ever so Nestle in a Nestle. Anyway, ever so gently and ever so nicely in boxes, and they're just sitting there for the time when I get old and really skinny and can't wear the clothes that I wear now, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing. That's what I do. But definitely comment down below and let us know about your oldest piece of clothing that you have. What is the oldest piece of clothing you have? Like I said, I have socks that, like, I've started to throw some socks away, but there were socks that I had that just had holes in them, but I'd still wear them. Why not?
Ugh.
You know what I'm saying? No, not like that, where like the toes out like this or something like that. No, just like just coming out like this. No. But like the heel side might like rub and like get old.
Yeah.
Like wear out. But it's not like I'm wearing those to go run 5 miles. It's not like I'm wearing that to go, you know what I'm saying? It's like those are the socks that you wear when you're at home and ain't nobody around and you chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Or those pants that you got, like those athletic pants that you got that suddenly got too, like, they shrunk in the wash because you didn't read the damn tag, Jack. Anyway, and they kind of give you a little bit of a high water look. Or those PJ pants, you know what I'm saying? Those flannel pants that you wear, you clearly aren't going out in those things, but then you wash them just once and then they get super shrunk. So, but you still got to wear them because you paid $12.99 for them, right? And then you go and you still, like, you look like you got high water pants on. Nobody does this? Am I the only, please tell me I'm not the only one that does this. Wait, you guys are that sophisticated. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I forgot I was talking to super sophisticated gentlemen here. No, they do nothing but wear nothing but silk pants. Yes, and sleep on the finest of threads. The thread counts is so high. It's so amazing. It's like sleeping on pillows. What am I saying? On clouds. What are you talking about? You're telling me you don't wear something to bed that's just ridiculous that you would never want to be caught wearing in public? Real talk. You know, the high water pants, the PJ pants that shrink a little bit, but then they turn into the high water pants, real talk. But you still walk around in them at home thinking all sexy, going, yeah, baby. Yeah, time to get it in, wearing those pants. You're telling me that's not what you guys do? Come on. Y'all lying.
I sleep naked.
There we go.
Okay, so that's fair enough. You don't want to be out in public butt ass naked. That's fair enough. No, and I'm not,
boxers to bed. That's it.
You wear boxers? Boxers? Is it new boxers or is it the boxers that you wore all day?
New boxers.
Okay, good answer.
Get in bed. Get in bed clean, man.
I was waiting to. I was trying to catch you.
You don't want to bring that daily dirt in there.
I was about to say. You're bringing your crummy ass to bed.
Shower at night. You know?
So, okay. Because I know there's some people that don't shower before they go to bed. They just jump in the bed. They're just into bed.
There's no way I can do that. I'm out and about sweating. Like.
Oh, no. Your situation is a little bit different because you're constantly, like, climbing up and down buildings. You're on top of... houses and buildings.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, you know, you're saving the world. You know, you're neighborly Spider-Man. But, you know, so I get that part. You see what I'm saying? Like, of course you're going to wash your ass. You know what I mean? Of course you're going to wash your ass before you go jump in the bed. But there's some people that don't. They just jump in the bed and they go to sleep.
That's so funny. I saw a video the other day, and the guy was like, like it was like one of those like a joke thing from like College Humor or something, and they were like it was a girlfriend and a boyfriend in a shower together, and he was just it's like standing there, and she's like, aren't you gonna wash your ass? And he's like, wait, I'm supposed to wash my ass? He's like 27 and he's never washed his ass before.
It's like, weird when you
run it down just takes care of it.
That is weird when you meet somebody whose grooming habits are like totally different from your own. I was talking with a friend of mine a few years back, and I think about it all the time. He said he's never washed his legs in the shower. That he always just assumes the soap will run down to his legs, and then in the rinsing process they'll get clean. So he never washes his legs. He washes his torso and his arms and his face and his hair. And just assumes the legs will get clean by everything rinsing off.
No, see, that's not how you. No.
Scrub it up in the tub.
Oh my God. No, you don't do that. You don't. Oh, that's so gross.
That's pretty nasty. Gross. I was shocked when I learned that.
Please tell me.
I'm no longer friends with that guy. Just to let you know.
Okay.
His legs really smell.
Man, you gotta wash your feet too, man. I just saw Mr. T12. Good morning, Mr. T. Good morning, Tanner Vane. Good morning, everybody who's tuning in. He said feet too. You gotta wash your feet too.
Oh yeah.
And that stuff gets funky, man. Now that makes me wonder because if he's not washing his legs, is he washing his balls? You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. And then there's other people that don't think that using a loofah or one of those scrunchy thingies, you know, to scrub. They just think that taking that soap and just putting it on your skin, lathering up is enough. That's not how it's done, son. That's not how it's done, son. That's gross. But there are people out there that think, oh, if I just take this and go and it gets sudsy, then I'm clean. No, you gotta scrub off that that dead skin. That's where the dirt's from. You know what I'm saying? Exfoliate daddy. You know what I mean? But people don't know that stuff. It's gross. It's freaking gross. Wow.
So, what else going on in the world?
No. It's nice to have a little bit of a light beginning of our conversation before we jump into all this other stuff, because we do have some top news stories that we're going to jump into here really quick, and we will be opening up the phone lines to talk about some stuff, because I know that last night I said that we were going to talk a little bit about mental health and dive into that, because there's a lot of things that we're going to be talking about, or there's a little bit of coverage in regards to Kanye West and the Kim Kardashian situation, and it all has to do with mental health. Kim Kardashian did put out a tweet, which we will talk about here in a little bit. But first, this is breaking news, or this is overnight. This thing just broke overnight. Mayor Ted Wheeler ended up going out, braving the streets of Portland, Oregon, and getting into the midst of the crowd, in the midst of all the protesters. And this is some very interesting. It's a very interesting situation, and of course we're going to jump into this here very, very quickly. But he obviously went to Twitter and had to put in his own 2 cents about everything that's going on, and he said today. Oh, sorry. He said, I'm trying to find it real quick. I just lost it. I had it, and now it's gone. All right. Today, Portland, Oregon City Council approved more than $114 million in CARES Act funds to be distributed among programs and bureaus throughout Portland that will support housing stability, food security, small businesses, our unsheltered neighbors, and arts and culture. We know it's not enough. We will continue to advocate advocating to our state and federal partners to bring more resources to our region. This afternoon, I was made aware of concerns within the community that federal agents may be authorized to use live ammunition on demonstrators this evening. Given the deployment of federal agents to other American cities and the clear escalation of the federal government, this information was alarming. I've spoken with the U.S. Attorney of Oregon, Billy Williams, who assures me that the federal government, has no plans to use live ammunition on Portlanders tonight, and that such an order would be unlawful. Nevertheless, I'm sharing this information policy publicly out of an abundance of caution. If you plan to demonstrate tonight, please be safe. So after he had put out this announcement or this tweet, because obviously, hearing that they're going to be using live ammunition is something for sure. He went out into the streets, and I wanted to show you guys what happened, or a little bit of what happened, because a lot of things happened. Now, of course, when he walked out, bruh, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna say this. That's one brave dude to go out into the middle of the crowd, the mass angry crowd of people, of protesters, and put yourself in possibly in harm's way, possibly. And there is, oh wow, that's interesting too. We're gonna have to show that. Wow. But anyway, there has been, so he went ahead and he got up. He talked to one of the people who were running, one of the leaders of this movement and of the crowd. He grabbed a microphone and he had some things to say. So we're gonna play a little bit of what he had to say here. Sorry, guys, I got to mute you for a second. Whoa. Sorry, guys. That was loud as hell. Woo. Okay. Let's get our... Here we go. This is it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. And I want to start by answering the question. I'm going to start by answering the reason I'm here tonight is to stand with you no matter what. Stand with you no matter what. And if they launch the tear gas against you, they're launching the tear gas against me. Here's what I think about the federal government being in our city. They were not asked to be here. They are not wanted here. They're not properly trained to be here. And we are asking them right this minute, we're demanding that they leave. We demand that the federal government stop occupying our city. Here's the message I want you to know. If you're watching this and you're in another city and you say, oh, well, that's a Portland, Oregon thing. This is not a Portland, Oregon thing. The President of the United States has said himself on the record, he said he is sending federal officers to cities based on whether or not they are led by Democratic mayors and city councils. That is an abuse of federal law enforcement for political ends. And I love yesterday and we didn't support it and we are demanding that they leave. That's it. We thank the mayor for saying that.
All right. So that is going on. That's what happened last night. More went down. He said, if you guys get tear gassed, I'm getting tear gassed. And guess what happened? The man got tear gassed. We got the video here too. Let's check it out. Let's check that out. Oh, come on. Now, so the thing is that this is a video that I'm gonna show. He is he's basically in the front line with everybody. This is a small clip. This is like during the tear gassing situation. So somebody threw something at him. Now, I just want to point out that this was not the only time somebody threw something or got in his face or wanted to say something to him. But he's one of the, he's with everybody, or at least he's trying to be. And, this is after. This is the video after he gets tear gassed.
But I am pissed off.
I'd be pissed off too if I got tear gassed. All right, here we go.
I'm not gonna lie. It stings. It's hard to breathe. And I can tell you with 100% honesty, I saw nothing that provoked this response. It's nasty stuff. I'm not afraid, but I am pissed off. What are you pissed about? This is a egregious overreaction on the part of the federal officers. There was nothing that I saw anybody do that warranted this reaction. And all it's doing, as you can see, it hasn't stopped the stuff. So they fired munitions, they fired tear gas. All it's done is piss everybody off even more. It's made people angry. They've come in and they've cooked a hornet's nest. Sure. This is not a de-escalation strategy. This is flat out urban warfare.
Okay, you heard that. Urban warfare, as he said. Now, the thing is like I just said in the very beginning, I commend the mayor for going out there and braving the streets, putting himself out there. He didn't have any protection, really. He had a translator, a sign language interpreter with him, and that was basically it. He just walked out into the middle of the streets, went out into the crowd, and just started talking to people. And the thing is I give him mad props because that's a scary thing. Just think about it. You got thousands of people out there that know exactly who you are. They're chanting F you. They're saying all this crazy stuff out there. You know, everyone's agitated. Everyone's angry. And for him to go out there like that takes a lot of balls. But I'm going to say this. Why didn't you do this in the beginning? That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to throw it to the guys. I want to hear what your thoughts are on this situation.
I mean, I don't know if he's gone out and tried to talk to the protesters before. Maybe he has.
I don't think he has, because if he did, real talk, if he did, this would not be like big news. They would have said this earlier. They would have made a deal about it, about him going out to the public saying, "Hey, what up with thee? What's going on with thee?" You know what I mean? This is happening right now because of the federal law enforcement that's out there. And that's all it is. That's why he feels motivated to get out there, because now he's, you know, obviously, if you really think about it, let's go deeper on this too really quick. He's probably thinking, I have some political aspirations outside of being mayor here. This is making me look really, really bad. It's showing that I can't run my own city, and that's not cool. I need to jump out here now that there's federal agents out here, you know, coming out here. And then also, as he said in his speech, he said Trump is deploying federal law enforcement out to cities that are run by Democratic mayors or Democratic leaders, solely because he's trying to prove a point about like the difference between a Democratic leader and a Republican leader. You know what I mean? So obviously it's a dig at his ego too. So he's going, oh, what the hell? So now he's being proactive. And try to say, oh, I want to listen to the people now. Now I care about what the people are saying. When he should have been doing this before this stuff went down. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just saying. Think about it. Think about it for a second. I understand he's probably going, oh, you know, all this turmoil and chaos is going on, right? I get it. But at the same time, come on now. Chaos and protesting and all that and unrest was happening 55 days ago. You know what I'm saying? It's been happening for well over a month already. You know what I'm saying? Well over a month and a half. He could have at least done something about it. During all that time, he had all that time to do something. And now he's trying to come in and say, wait a second. No, guys. I do care. It doesn't make any sense. Sorry, fellas.
I mean, the federal officers have been there for, what, the last 3 weeks or so already. But now I think more have been sent in. And then now more are being sent out to other cities. So, I don't know. I know that they started firing the tear gas because people were shooting fireworks at the building and then throwing, you know, things that were lit on fire over the fence. Yeah. And people are in the building. So obviously if it gets set on fire, that could be a big issue. Yeah. And they're not, you know, forming lines and pushing people down the street anymore and just sitting there shooting rubber bullets at them. It looks like on this case, they went out, shot the tear gas, made people back up, and then they retreated back to the federal building again. But the mayor obviously has, you know, an uncontrollable situation on his hands. There is a whole bunch of demands that I guess are being made for defunding the police and everything in Portland. 50 plus days now of people being there, and every time that people show up and like the federal officers have shown up and started doing more things, that just has caused more people to show up. So, you know, if I was in his position, you know, is it time to move aside and let somebody else come in to try to, you know, bring peace to the situation? I mean, is he just not able to do what's needed and have an actual conversation with the protesters? Are there not active things that are going on between the demonstrators and the local government to be able to make the changes? I'm sure that there's been some emergency lawmaking things that are going on to start making changes, but obviously nothing is an overnight change. But having federal officers there seem really to have energized the entire protest. So, I mean, even if they started to get things underneath control, I mean, it looks like here it says the crowds have grown significantly since July 17th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
it said before the federal agents went in, crowds in the protests were under 100, and now they're over 1,000.
Yeah.
So
now
blown up.
Tom, what do you think, real quick? What do you think?
I mean,
your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's, it's brave of him to go out, but he maybe should have been out there earlier. But I mean, the whole sending federal troops into Democratic-led cities is just like the most cynical election year politics I can possibly imagine. It's just, I mean, it's going to war with your own populace. I mean, we know Donald Trump is all about dividing America and just wedge issues all day long. But now he's actually sending federal troops in to go to war with American citizens. I mean, because he knows that a wartime president is a popular president. So he's using this as a wedge issue. And I don't think Trump is interested in quelling these protests. I think that he hopes that this stokes up the protests and that the protests last through November, because I think he thinks it's good for him. It makes him look like a law and order president, even though he's a career criminal.
So, the thing is okay. So I obviously I'm on the same page with you, Tom, in regards to, the man who is, number 45. But at the same time, though, and this is me just playing devil's advocate and just thinking outside of the world that we usually sit in, right? Like us three, and I feel like a lot of other quote unquote liberals think as well. So I'm gonna think on the conservative side really quick. Now, there's something that Ducky Momo said, and it seems to be it's an interesting thing, and I'd like to dive into it and just look into it really quick, because Ducky Momo said this: we don't have this BS in red cities. Now, is that true or not? That's what I'd like to know.
Are there red cities? Like Omaha?
Well,
come on.
But I'm just saying.
Any diverse city in America is going to be a Democratic city.
No, that's true. That's true. But you got a point. You got
Provo,
a point there.
Utah? They don't have that problem in Provo, Utah. All right.
No, but hold on. He's pointing something out. Now, here's the other thing, though. Okay. Now, when it comes to what's going on in Portland, obviously things have escalated. Things have gotten really, really bad. Now, I'm just using Portland, Oregon for an example. I'm not looking at any other cities right now. I'm just looking at Portland. All right. So here it is. Yes, clearly to me, on my own thinking, it seems as if Trump is trying to basically go, look at all these Democratic cities that can't, or Democratic run cities that can't keep their people in line. Right. So he's just going and saying, hey, I'm bringing out troops over there. It's only stoking the fire. It's only poking the bear. It's only making things worse, because he's also hoping that maybe it'll make them look even worse. Right. Of course, like you said, making him be more of that law and order president. Now, the thing is, though, is that let's just play devil's advocate here. What if he's seeing all this information, all the craziness that's going on? Now, you say that the federal agents have been there since when again, Jack? They've been there you said for 3 weeks? Is that correct?
Well, they've been there since right before July 4th, but then more have shown up since July 17th.
Right. And then so how is let me just ask about this. Has the violence in Portland, Did it has it escalated since the 3 weeks that the federal agents have been there, or has it just stayed at a consistent plateau of violence? You see what I'm saying? Like when they moved, when the federal agents moved in, did everything just go whoom to the moon, or did it stay just exactly where it is right now? Except we're looking at it even more right now because the news is starting to look at it and show that federal agents are out there and people are having a problem with it. You see what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, I don't know. I don't have video
Okay.
that, basically,
fair enough.
follows along the last 3 weeks. Because, I mean, I imagine that if the protests were dwindling down and that around 100 people were still there, and then now it's gone over 1,000, like just 10 times fold the people, you're going to have 10 times the issue, right? If there's one agitator and 100, now you got 10 agitators that are out there. Like there's going to be, power in numbers, obviously. But I don't know if there's been an increase in violence or that type of activity. Obviously, there's been, the surrounding of different courthouses and things like that. So I don't know. It's I think that having more federal officers show up has caused things to probably go a little bit more violent.
Yeah. And
at least that's what the news is portraying.
Well, and of course, there's a lot of people out there that are anti-Trump, not that are down with Trump, that are not down with Trump. They're saying down with Trump, thumbs down. And so when they start realizing that Trump is the one who's issuing these federal agents to come out, what's it going to do? It's just going to anger those people even more, right? It's like, oh, they're going to get really angry. Of course they're going to be angry. And of course they're going to retaliate even more. So then it's like, what is the best solution? Is the federal agents, federal law enforcement, the best choice is that the best option out there? Or is there another option? And I leave that question up to you guys. So please comment down below and let us know what you think on that. Because, I don't know, obviously if violence and chaos has been ensuing in Portland, Oregon for a long time, and the Mayor Wheeler hadn't done anything about maybe calming the cooling down the flames a little bit, what else can they do? What other options are there? Unless, and this is just some weird, me trying to think of benefit of the doubt, thinking Trump is thinking on good sides, and with good intention, that maybe him bringing out the federal agents inspires Wheeler to sack up and talk to the people to figure out what's going on so that he does not have to send in the hounds. You see what I'm saying? But that's not how Trump thinks. He's thinking the other way, for sure. That's what I think. So, but I would hope that it's kind of like, hey, guys, I'm about to do this thing, so you better get your stuff in line. But I don't think that's how he's thinking. He just wants to prove that, Republicans are the way and Democrats are idiots, basically, that they're spineless, apparently. But I digress. I'd love to know what you guys think on this. Comment down below. Definitely let me know what you think, because this story also bleeds over to the situation in Chicago as well with Mayor Lightfoot and all that's going on. Now, last night on the night show, I talked about Lightfoot's response to Trump's statement about him bringing out federal law enforcement out to Chicago because of that horrendous and terrible drive-by shooting that killed 14, that shot and it didn't kill 14 people, but shot and wounded 14 or 15 people at a funeral, all right, during a funeral. Now, this inspired Trump to say, hey, we're going to be deploying all of these troops over to Chicago to stop this violence from happening. Mayor Lightfoot was totally against it, was absolutely like, nah, I got this. There's no reason for you to bring in federal law enforcement officers to my city. Now, she has changed her mind. And I got the video here too. Come on.
They're coming to Chicago to help fight gun violence, whether the mayor likes it or not.
Mayor Lightfoot had resisted in recent days, but now she's open to the idea. Patrick Elwood explains what changed her mind.
From the melee that erupted Friday over the Christopher Columbus statue.
When you see the fact that there were 49 officers who were injured in this egregious video.
To yet another weekend of gun violence. 63 people shot, including 9 juveniles, 12 people dead.
She's clearly unable to control her streets.
Spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany says President Trump has had enough.
He's very discouraged by the violence that he's seen in Chicago.
So this weekend, 150 federal agents will be deployed to Chicago. Originally, she was fearing it would be a Portland-like situation where agents would be clad in military-style uniforms without names or insignia. The mayor resisted in recent days. But today, she says her understanding is that's not going to be the case.
The Trump administration is not going to foolishly deploy unnamed agents to the streets of Chicago.
Instead, Lightfoot says the federal agents will work alongside CPD officers, which is not unprecedented. And unlike, again, Portland, the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, John Lausch, will help.
The FBI, the DEA, and the ATF. And unlike what happened in Portland, what we will receive is resources that are going to plug in to the existing federal agencies that we work with on a regular basis to help manage and suppress violent crime in our city.
CPD Superintendent David Brown says he welcomes the extra manpower, but Police Union President John Catanzara wasn't so diplomatic.
Even though he repeatedly offered it to it, but now all of a sudden it's a good idea. Well, at least she's finally come to the table and admitted that she has no control over this.
How in the world can we explain that in the year 2020, the Trump administration would follow the example of Vladimir Putin in his invasion of Ukraine with these so-called green monsters who would arrive without any insignia or any indication of who they were fighting for?
This evening, law enforcement sources are telling me that the federal agents will help with overall gun violence in the city, illegal gun sales, and finding fugitives who are already charged with gun crimes but who have failed to appear before the judge.
Interesting. So, at first, she wasn't cool with it at all. She was like, nah, hell to the nah. I don't need any of you guys coming in here and trying to wreck shop and escalating, getting things to get escalated and taking things to a whole nother level. Now it seems as if maybe she had a conversation with Trump. I don't know what it was, but it seems as if she had a conversation and now she's going, oh, wait, if they're going to work with us to stop the crime, then I'm all for it. What do you guys think?
It's pretty interesting. The switch up, but I imagine that the call was probably, I'm sending troops there and you have no choice. So she was probably like, oh, I'm going to make it look like I'm on board with it now. Like if you'd rather want to be looked at as cooperating, right? Than straight up demanding that they not show up and leave when they're going to still show up and not leave. And now, obviously, Chicago has had its own issues going on for quite some time.
Word.
The gang level that's up in Chicago is pretty active. It's a high traffic area with the highways that go through from leading from Mexico up to Canada, Chicago, St. Louis. We're all in this little beltway of drug trafficking, gun trafficking, human trafficking. And Chicago is a big location for where a lot of stuff happens. The amount of, areas that are up there that have had gun violence for years is pretty widespread. And it's funny hearing the police union going, "Oh yeah, the mayor has no control." Well, if you're the head of the police union, shouldn't you be trying to have more control too? Like, the blame's not just on one person. Like, there's, that's a large scale coordination, and if your, officers are going and taking care of the previous night's 50 shooting cases, how can they deal with the next night's 50 shooting cases and then the next night's 50 shooting cases? I mean, the laundry list of active, cases that they probably have to look into is probably so long that they don't have enough people to do it. And then if it just continues on, I think that obviously they need a different approach. And it looks like there's been a crackdown on other, gangs and things like that in different cities so far in the last several weeks. And if they can go in, and I guess, but that's the thing is, like, most of the time they go in, they might arrest a few people, but then most of the low-level people get out again pretty quickly on bail or bond, and some of the higher-level guys might be put away for a little bit, but it's not, one person goes off the streets, another person comes on, because once you put them in jail, it doesn't stop. That's the thing, is like, there's so many foot soldiers that are out there. And like, it's amazing the amount of actual gang members that live in the U.S. and not from the U.S. but from Mexico, from other southern locations that have a stronghold of different cartels. And there's been a whole bunch of different FBI things have looked into it. Like, cartel strongholds in the U.S. are amazing, and they have more money than what our local governments have in order to combat stuff. They are 10 times, more ahead with trying to get things across the border. I mean, they go and they, like, basically steal and kidnap the top, scientists in their areas to come and build things for them to be able to get drugs across the border and come up with different ways to defeat our tactics of identifying them. And it's a really big war that we're at that's hard to even confront. And so, maybe the federal government coming in is going to be a good thing if they are just focusing on those things.
Tom.
Yeah, I mean, obviously something has to be done about the level of violence in cities like Chicago and cities, like St. Louis. I just don't think sending in federal troops is going to help anything. I think it's just posturing. I mean, do we really think that sending in these federal troops is going to bring down the crime rate in Chicago? Do you really think that? Do you really think next year you're going to be like, wow, that really worked? Or do you think like, well, that kind of did nothing? The fact of the matter is, the reason why crime and violence and gangs and all that stuff, drugs, have taken root in America's major cities is because of systemic racism. It's because we've created these economic deserts where, people live and die with no opportunity. I don't think sending federal agents is anything. I mean, at best, it's putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. But what really needs to happen is we need to make sure that everybody in this country has an equal opportunity to succeed and thrive in legitimate businesses. And when every major city in this country has an economic desert where there aren't grocery stores, there aren't jobs, there aren't opportunities, yeah, there's going to be violence. There's going to be pain and crime and drugs. So I don't think federal agents going in is going to do anything. I think it's election year politics. And, if that's what floats your boat, great. But it's not going to fix anything. It's just going to make people feel like they're, if you're sending in federal agents into the ghetto, then the people in the ghetto are going to be like, oh, my own government's at war with me now. Great. It's not really going to fix anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if they were working alongside with the police, the city's law enforcement over there, I feel like it could have a good turnout. I think that it could have a good result. I mean, but at the same time, we haven't seen that side of it yet. We've only seen them being deployed in a place like right now, like we're only seeing it right now with Portland, Oregon, and we're seeing the results of that alone. But what if they were implemented and mixed in with the local law enforcement in Chicago? It might be a very strong reaction as far as on the positive. Maybe crime would go down. You know, if it's going, hey, we're taking these troops out here to go against these protesters, which of course they've been calling them thugs and mobs and all that, right? And of course the media is covering that, and the people are hearing that. Those protesters are hearing that. They're getting angry about that. So then the next thing you know, you see these federal law enforcement fellas coming out of nowhere because they need to control the mob, control these thugs, right? So it gets people angry. But if it's like, hey, Chicago's violence has gone up this year, and we're not even done. We're only halfway through the year, brothers, right? So it's like, well, we need to find a way to diminish or push down the violence and the crime that's going on in Chicago. Integrating them into it, not like I hope. Obviously, I don't know what their approach is going to be, but what if they were to integrate with the local law enforcement that's there to go after it with a more, positive and more, I don't know how to, an easier, more, I don't know how to use the word, like a proper way of merging everything so that it's not such a shocking result. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just feels like, we've been on this tough on crime approach forever. I mean, it's every year it's like you see a more militarized police force. You see, we're going to get tough on crime. We're going to get tough on crime. It doesn't work.
Now, let me ask you this, though. I'm playing devil's advocate here, but let me just be real. Have we really been tough on crime? Are we really that tough on crime? Aside from the systemic racism, the police brutality and all that, aside from that side of it, are we really tough on crime? Really, though?
Yes. Black crime.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
crime.
The fact that we have a huge prison population that dwarfs that of pretty much any other country outside of like China. Yeah, we are extremely tough on crime, and it's accomplished nothing. What we aren't tough on is systemic racism, which is the cause of this crime.
Okay. Unfortunately, we got to jump into a quick commercial break. But I know that somebody just tried calling. The phone lines are not open yet. I will let everybody know when the lines are up and ready to go. We will most likely have them open when we get back after this commercial break. So stick around. We'll be right back. Keep the conversation going on down below, and we will continue with this talk. Are we really tough on crime? Is America really that tough on crime? I don't know. Not all crime. I'll say that. Not all the crimes, but I'm interested to see what you guys think. Anyway, keep the comments going on down below. We'll be right back. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Hey, take off Ms. Feinberg, I'd really appreciate it if you would close your legs.
Do you find it distracting?
Power, respect. The festival is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers are trucking for tweakers and losing their circles. Their loves are unique. All of us under surveillance. People are feeling they made it. Half of them stumbling around and they faded. They live in the world that's degraded for people that's constantly hated.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
So what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, and we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now. Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
I'm sorry, I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.
All right, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And like I always say, if this is your first time checking out the show, please go hit that like button down below. We've been jumping into this conversation about federal agents and all that. Excuse me. Woo! Sometimes those breaks go faster than you think. Real talk. But anyway, Tommy, you had some stats or some information for us before we open up these phone lines. So drop that knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, we were wondering earlier if the United States truly was tough on crime. We do have the largest incarceration rate per 100,000 people of any country on the planet Earth. At least according to what I'm reading here, 655 out of every 100,000 people in the United States is incarcerated. That is the next highest country is El Salvador at 590. Now, you have to understand in this case, with countries like China, they are kind of cagey about how many people they're actually incarcerating. But as far as actual proven numbers, the United States has the highest incarceration rate of any country on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we are very tough on crime, and it has accomplished nothing. What we aren't tough on is systemic racism and what causes crime. We have never addressed that as a country. There seems to be very little political will to do so. I think maybe there's a little more now with the protests going on. But yeah, I just don't think sending federal troops in and getting tougher on crime when we're already the toughest on crime. You know, what's the definition of insanity? Is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. This isn't going to fix anything.
Right. You know, Michelle Smale just asked something that I liked. And she said, the question is, do they trust the cops in Chicago? If they think they are at war with the cops already, how is federal incorporation going to help? You know, that's a very good question, actually. That's a very good question. Michelle, good job. That's how you ask a question. I'm just kidding. I don't know, Tom, what do you think on that? I think yeah, go ahead.
Well, that they will see the police as an invading force, or that they feel like they're at war with them?
Yeah, if they think they're at war with the cops already, how is federal incorporation going to help?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, it's as I said earlier, it's just going to make them feel like their own government is going to war with them.
Yeah.
So,
you know, I feel like, okay, and, you know, obviously, you know, I don't mean to be bouncing back and forth, you know, but I got to, because I see certain things that could benefit from the federal agents going in to Chicago and integrating with the cops. But then at the same time, I could see it becoming very, very bloody. I could see things escalating to a place where it's not even police brutality anymore. It isn't just black men and women dying in the hands of cops. Now it's going to be black men and women dying in the hands of federal agents. And then I feel like it can escalate from there. That instead of defunding the police, it's going to be defund these unmarked named men and women that are federal law enforcement. I feel like it could escalate from that too. If Chicago can't even trust or lean on their Chicago PD, that says a lot. And then for them to come in with the federal agents, it feels like it takes everything and takes it up to a much heightened level of violence and heightened drama, if that makes any sense. Now, I want our country to be tough on crime. Absolutely. You know, there's certain things that are going on in the world that have happened, you know, with the Epsteins and the Weinstein. I mean, and that's only just one side of crime. You know, that's one thing. You know, the sex trafficking, just on that side of it, there has been things that I feel have been very, very, handled with kid gloves. And not with a stern fist. And I feel like sometimes we're not as tough on crime on certain things because of who the person is or who they're connected with or what kind of connections that they do have beyond, you know, behind the curtain of everything. But I do feel that I could see both sides of this, that there's pro and most definitely there are cons. If federal agents were implemented, even just like say they come into St. Louis or they come into Kansas City, there's talks of it going to Kansas City. There's Albuquerque, New Mexico. There's all these other cities that are in there that Trump has his eyes set on implementing those federal agents in. Now, I keep thinking, it's like you going into a situation where there was no need for a machine gun, but the guy got the machine gun anyway. You see what I'm saying? Like where it's just a heightened level of violence. Like there's an onset vibe of potential escalated violence that doesn't even need to escalate to that place when you implement the hounds like that. You know what I'm saying? So I could see, like I said, I could see the good side of it, where it can maybe stitch things up real quick and make everybody shut the hell up and start doing the right thing and stop doing all this crime and killing people and doing drive-bys that are injuring and shooting 14, 15 people at a funeral. It's ridiculous, you know? But then I can also see the other side, where it's like, okay, if you got your rabid dogs, if you got machine guns, then the criminals got machine guns. If you guys got bombs, then we got bombs. You see what I'm saying? It's that scene. I feel like it's that scene from The Dark Knight, where he's like, you know, once you start getting bulletproof vest, they get body piercing bullets. You start doing, you know, you start going with heavy artillery. The criminals do the same thing. They just start to ante up everything. You know, you got a man in a cape and cowl, you know, a cap and cowl. You got the Joker. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the same in that same vein. You bring in the federal agents, criminals in the streets are going to just start going crazy, getting the best things that they can get. You know what I'm saying? To be able to go against toe to toe with those federal agents. Do you see what I'm saying? So yeah. I could see it being just a weird tug of war in a way,
right,
with just artillery.
I feel like we're missing the forest for the trees on this, though.
Go for it.
I mean, violent crime in our cities is nothing new. These protests are nothing new. They've been going on since George Floyd died. Why is Donald Trump right now sending out federal troops? And I think the honest answer to that is because everyone's talking about how bad he bungled the COVID response. And he has an election coming up in November. And he wants to take ownership and look like a strong president when he totally flubbed the COVID response. I mean, this is nothing new, activating U.S. troops whenever your poll numbers get low. Bill Clinton did it all the time. Every time one of his sex scandals would bubble up, he'd go bomb Iraq. It's nothing new. People use the military all the time to cover up their own failures and to try and boost their poll numbers. So for him to go out and say now, after, 60 days of protesting, oh, now we need to bring it to a stop, is like, okay, well, your timing is suspect. You're doing this to try and look strong because you have completely botched the COVID response so bad that the United States is just the laughing stock of the world right now. That's why he's doing this. And to say anything else, I mean, it's just a waste of time. I don't think this is going to do anything. This is election year politics. It's not going to do anything to fix the problem, but it might help his poll numbers. But I mean, that's really all it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we go, I jump over to Jack really quick. Phone lines are officially now open. Give us a call at 314-766-4581. Let us know what you think. A quick comment. Okay. So definitely call in. The lines are open and ready to receive your phone calls. Jack, what are your thoughts real quick?
I don't know. Secret police being deployed out in America is just, it's a strange thing to talk about, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, I'm interested to see, who's being targeted by the secret police too. Like, is it equal black and white that are being pulled off to the sides? Is there any type of prejudice that's within that grouping as well? Having any country that's ever had state police and like secret police that have come out to do stuff has never gone in a good direction. That's all I know. And, especially if they're already showing up in unmarked vans and pulling people off and then taking them to undisclosed places to then read them their rights. There's, history has shown that secret police are not a friend of the community. And so they're there to try to instill a top-down, order. And I don't know. Instead of showing the support for the people, it is really putting that divide 100% there. And, maybe they can help out a couple little small things here and there. They're going to arrest some people. How long are they going to be deployed out there, though? I mean, if they're only there for a month, that's not going to really change anything, is it? I mean, there is a lot of show going on, I guess, with it. I could see that, Tom. That's for sure. Who knows until, let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks.
Right. Let's get this phone call. We got Enemy on the calling in. What up, Enemy? How you doing, my brother? Oh, he is on. He is on, actually.
On?
Yeah, you need to, Enemy, before I get you on screen, you need to flip the camera over. You need to flip it sideways. Yeah, you need to flip it down. You're like sideways, so I can't see your face.
Like this?
That works. Angle it down towards your face a little bit more, too, before we put you on. Like, angle the whole camera.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Take your time. Anyway, there were some other comments here that I thought were very interesting.
Is that better?
Yes, much, much better. So, hold on. Let me just do this. This might be a little bit easier. Hold on, guys. We're going to try this. Bang. Okay, so we got everybody on. It's a nice surprise to see you, Enemy Nation, in the flesh. This is the first time ever that I've ever seen your face. And so Enemy looks like this is what Enemy is right there. Bang. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
Oh man, we living.
Doing all right.
We living, man. We out here, right? So yeah. So what are your thoughts, real quick?
My thoughts is, first of all, there's a difference between what's going on in Portland, which you guys should know that Portland is it's basically the birthplace of Antifa. All right. So that's Operation Diligent Valor. That's different from Operation Legend, which was named after Legend Talavero, that 4-year-old that got killed. And the way that the feds operate is not how cops operate. The feds have been in Portland. They've been in Chicago. They've been in all these cities that Trump has said that he's sending them. They don't just send the feds in and stuff. They've already been investigating police departments. They've been in neighborhoods setting up surveillance. So when he sends these people in and he says a surge, that's to make the arrest that they already have the information on these people about. So Trump ran on, matter of fact, in his inaugural address, he addressed the nation about the violence in Chicago. His first campaign rally when he ran for president was on corruption, and he spent a good 45 minutes talking about the failure of the Democratic Party in the African American community. And then he was supposed to kick off his campaign at a church, but the Democrat Party held that church up for 2 months, so he couldn't do it. And when he finally went to the church in Detroit, they had protest out in front of the church to where they could barely hold church service. So a lot of these things that you are talking about, the thing about COVID, and, states' rights and all that. I mean, it's states' rights when it's sending in the feds, but it's not states' rights when COVID hits or when people don't have enough ventilators or they need money. Then all of a sudden, it's not states' rights. It's not the state that needs to take care of it, or the governors or the mayors. It's Trump that needs to take care of it. And so the reason why I called in was because, you guys, I know that y'all don't have time to scour this stuff, but since I'm at home all day, while my wife is working through COVID-19, that's all I do is read hours a day, watch Trump videos, and sometimes his press conferences are an hour plus long. And I watch those videos. So when I hear someone like Tom or Jack say something that's incorrect, and I'm talking about over a 2-hour show, all these incorrect things, I feel the need to say it in the chat, but sometimes it gets overlooked. So that's my thing on it. It's without trying to take over your show. So I'm always, like I said, I've sent you emails, I've sent my phone number. I'm always open to have discussions, to better inform you guys, so you guys could, I'm not trying to change your mind on anything. And I've said that plenty of times before. But just so you have all the information to say what you had to say. Because I listened to your show last night, and I wasn't on, but I listened to the show later on when I woke up. I was just tired yesterday. It was a long day for me. And somebody referred to me, asked, was I on? But I wasn't. And I think it was Tan. But I listened to your show last night, and I heard you say like 7 times, like you were like, I don't know, and I'm on the fence about this. And that's great. That's great. We need more people that's on the fence about stuff so they can kind of see things.
Because I could see both sides of the situation. I mean, personally, I'm not speaking on behalf of Tom and Jack. They're still online on the phone call with us right now, just so you know. Okay, good. But I do want you to know, like, well, first off, I mean, I am on the fence because I could see benefits, and I could see how it can help, and I could see how it can hinder us on any city. But when things are going crazy, I can see, like, okay, sometimes, like, when you're at dire straits, when you're in dire need of making something stop or slowing down, sometimes you got to bring a little bit of force. But at the same time, I can see that if you are stoking the fire or bringing out federal agents like that, and it's just escalating things more, it's kind of like, well, maybe we need to not retaliate, but draw it back a little bit, so that it's not as intense, so that there's not as many people getting getting hurt. People are not getting killed, so on and so forth. If you're seeing that it's not working and it's making things, it's escalating the violence to a 12 or to a 13, instead of staying at a 5, then you got to do something about it. So I could see both sides of the fence on this situation. Hence the reason why I said I don't know, because I don't.
And that's all I'm trying to do is inform you. You know what I mean? It's trying to inform you, because when Trump declared a national emergency, that gave him extraordinary powers in the executive branch to do certain things. Also, when the DACA decision came out, the DACA decision basically said that the president had more power than what people thought that he had. And so that allowed Trump now to go into a lot of these cities and kind of kick ass, because Mayor Lightfoot ran on rooting out the corruption in Chicago. That's what she ran on. Okay, that's why she made an executive order to basically stop the city council and kind of shut them up. So I have no doubt in my mind that she's there to root out corruption. However, in order to do it properly, because she is in a corrupt city, and you're talking decades of corruption, she's going to need the assistance of the federal government. But they've already been there. For 3 years, they've been there collecting evidence. I guarantee you that. So, like I said, Trump has extraordinary power to go into any state now, because we are in a national emergency, and he can say, hey, look, this is national security. And the DACA decision that basically gave Obama that power to make DACA, it gave it by default, it gave President Trump the same amount of power. So I think this is what Tom and Jack are failing to realize, which I don't blame them because they don't watch Trump. I do. So I know exactly. I get my milk from the cow. I don't get it from, Fox or some news source.
Okay, so let's see what Tom and Jack have to say about that. So, fellas, Jack, you got anything to say?
Well, what are you saying that we were wrong on?
I never said you was wrong on anything. I said you were misinformed. I might have said you were wrong. But the first thing I think you guys were kind of talking in a lot of generalities about Trump just doing this because of that. He's trying to get, he's trying to improve his election results or whatever. And that might be the case. But I do know for a fact that from his first campaign rally, he specifically targeted the black community. And he spoke to the black community and he told the black community, look, we're going to get this violence out of your neighborhoods. We're going to create jobs. We're going to create manufacturing jobs, because manufacturing jobs, whether you know it or not, it affects black or the loss of them. It affects the black community, low skilled workers or people that only have high school diplomas or less than that. It affects them more. That's why when you see Eminem and 8 Mile, the reason why Detroit is the way it was is because they rioted in the 60s, right, Jack? Rioted in the 60s, and all those manufacturing, because Detroit used to be called Motor City.
Right.
All those car companies, they moved out of Detroit over to the other side of 8 Mile. Okay, that's where 8 Mile comes from and all that. They moved their plants over there, and all those black people, those and white flight. So all these white people moved over the other side of 8 Mile too. So that's where you get white flight, and those neighborhoods just disintegrated, and they haven't been the same since. Mm-hmm. So his very first campaign rally was in Detroit, Michigan, talking to black people. But they cropped the black people out of the audience. But you can look at it. You see what I'm saying? But and then he went to a Detroit church. That was his first stop at a church. So, I watch as much. I don't watch everything, but I watch it enough to understand his cadence, to understand his choice of words and how he speaks. So when the media give you a prime example, when he said the stuff about the disinfectant, he said that you had reporters in there after he said it, asking him questions. If they thought that he actually meant that, why not just say that right in the briefing? Why not ask him right then, rather than let the briefing be over with and then come back later on tonight and say, Trump said drink bleach or inject bleach or inject disinfectant.
Yeah.
You could have asked him right there. But they're just looking for sound bites so they can later run it without him being able to defend himself.
So just really.
So I don't mean to take over your show, Pascal.
No, you're good. You're good.
It's just a lot of stuff that you guys cover, and by the time I get on the phone.
But here's the thing, though. Yeah, I know. We do a good, we do a 2-hour show, and there's a lot of topics that we bring up in the conversation. But real quick, so that we can lay this one to rest, the bleach disinfectant thing, which honestly, it's a dead issue. It's old. But real quick, what we were saying was that obviously it wasn't bleach, it's disinfectant. So if we were going to get really, technical about it, yes, that's one part of it for sure. But the other part of it was that he was still at the podium, real quick. He was at the podium. The microphone was still on. Yes, he wasn't directing that towards the people that were watching, to the reporters or anything. He was directing to the people off camera that were off to the side, to his team. Now, he did say it on the podium, at the podium, live in front of all those reporters. Now, he could have had the choice, of walking off of that podium, walking away from that microphone, and having that conversation behind closed doors. But he did not. He said that live on microphone. Now, yes, the media took it and ran with it and did what they wanted to do with it. But at the same time, he had a choice. He could have covered the mic and just did this. Hey, this is what I think. Or he could have just said, these are my thoughts on everything, and I'll keep my other questions and other ideas that I have in my mind for behind closed doors with my team. Because I can ask dumb questions behind closed doors, but I shouldn't be asking those kind of questions live, where everybody's everybody's going to take every single bit of word that he takes. Literally, you got the mic on, you're talking. If he sits there and says, I love green eggs and ham, they're going to go, what the heck was that all about? Why is he talking about that? You see what I'm saying? So that's, I don't want to go back into something that's so old, you know what I'm saying? But that I saw that comment that you had yesterday, and I tried to reiterate real quick to kind of squash it, that was the issue at hand,
Right. Well, I understand that Trump, and this is a known fact, he's not a politician. He even said that in 2017 when he was talking about going into Chicago. He's not a politician, and so sometimes he just talks directly to people. And I understand where he was coming from. He hates the virus so much, and the guy was talking about injecting this and injecting that, but he wasn't really talking about injecting. He was talking about injecting methods. And so Trump was like, well, shit, why don't you be able to, why don't you see if you can inject the sunlight or inject some of that disinfectant that kills COVID, because he hates it. So I give him that. And then the people ask him, he said, hey, look, I was being sarcastic. And so the way that I do Trump is, for every lie that the media says about Trump, I give him a benefit of a doubt. So if the media says 2 lies about Trump and I find them, then I'll find something that might be I'm on the fence about, and he says, hey, look, I was being sarcastic. Hey, you got a benefit of a doubt. If the media lies about Trump on 2 things and he says, hey, look, I'm not a racist, I give him the benefit of a doubt. I think that's fair. It's like in football. If you throw two red challenges and you win both, you get a free 3, you get a third one. So to me, that's fair. And my channel, since you started your channel, since I started watching your channel, my channel used to be about football. But since I came on your channel and I used to hear so much falsehoods on this channel, I turned my channel into I don't even speak on the videos that I do. I just make the videos in their context.
But I'll say this. I
say, make your own decision.
But here it is.
And I lost a lot of subscribers behind that.
I see that. Or I can see that. But now here's the thing. The thing is that if, falsehoods is kind of a strong statement, my brother. I'm going to say that real quick. I think that we try to keep this pretty even keel. Obviously, we have our own personal opinions, but of course, we're talking about both sides of the fence. We talk about these things. Yes, there are things that we feel strongly about certain things. Like just because Trump says, hey, for example, you just said, I'm being sorry. He was saying I'm being sarcastic. Doesn't automatically mean he was really being sarcastic. You got to leave room for opinion as well. You're taking what he's saying at face value, just like we're taking what he's saying at face value if he leans off to the side and talks about injecting disinfectant. Sorry, but you got to take one with the other. You can't just automatically say, oh, if he's saying one thing and it's a gaffe or a mistake, that doesn't apply. But when he says he's being sarcastic, then that's factual. You see what I'm saying? But Tom, I haven't heard anything from you, so I want to hear your opinion on this as well. Tom.
Yeah, obviously something needs to be done about violent crime in this country, the murder rate.
There we go.
Extremely sad. It's nauseating. Everyone is disgusted by it. No one thinks that what's going on with violent crime in this country is okay. I still question the timing of it. You mentioned that he said it is inaugural address, and he's been saying it for years, but why now is he putting the troops out there? And why is he making a political issue by referring to them as democratic cities? I mean,
just
why?
told you he just got the power when the COVID and then the DACA decision came down. I just told you he just got the power to do that.
Mhm. But why is he saying like the Democratic cities? I mean, he's talking about
That's what they are.
But why is he making it I mean, it just reeks of partisan politics to say, oh, these Democratic
because
cities.
for one, it affects the black community, not the white community, Tom. And I'm black, and I've lived in black communities. Have you? Are you black?
No,
I've been black for 45 years.
Yeah.
So I think I have a little bit of validity to what I say.
I'm not saying you don't have validity. I'm just saying
So when I see, I used to have a business in a black neighborhood where they used to shoot up the neighborhoods like crazy. The feds came in and they cleaned the neighborhood up. So I basically live with a Fed. I have friends that are federal agents. I know how they operate. And I mean, I don't want to go too far into my experience with the federal government, but I know how they operate. And they don't operate by just going in and doing and letting you know that they're going in. They sneak in and get all the facts, and they have operations. And when they pull people out, these are people that took down Al Capone. You know what I'm saying? When they get done, it's done. This is the people that got Frank Lucas. When they get done, it's done. But cops, they react, they respond to crime. Feds end crime. So
hence the reason why we were talking about the whole aspect of the federal agents coming in and doing their thing. Now, where it's a situation of, like you just said, the cops come in, they respond, the federal agents come in and they end it. Now, is that something that is a good thing? I don't know.
No, they're not going to do it with violence. That's against their MO. They go after the kingpins and they go after the racketeering and they go after the people who is actually causing the problem. Chicago is in the middle of the country. So it's the main drug hub that disperses all the drugs throughout the country. You see what I'm saying? This is where El Chapo and all them, this is where they bring their drugs in and they disperse them throughout the country. All the opioid crisis and all that stuff, that's where it comes through Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And so one side of Chicago is glamorous. The other side of Chicago looks like a war zone. And he's been saying that, but he didn't think he had the authority to do it, to just go in without, and Chicago, and the Illinois governor asked Trump to come in. So don't care about what Lightfoot says. The governor asked her to come in. And like I said, the Portland operation, Diligent Valor, is different from Operation Legend. This is to get these thugs out of the black community so they can thrive. Because I don't care how many opportunity zones you put there, if they keep getting robbed and the insurance rates are too crazy. For my insurance rate on my business was crazy because of the violence. I had to have a $2 million insurance policy on my business because of that craziness. Sometimes it was hard for me to get loans because of that craziness. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So the average person don't want to be walking down the street and have their kids get shot and so on and so forth. And so what we know is what has been done so far hasn't worked. So regardless of people getting up in arms about the feds and what they might picture of what they've seen in the movies, you know what I'm saying? You have to try something different. And Trump he was elected, so let him do it. Obama had 8 years to get it done. He didn't do it. Mm-hmm. Bush didn't do it. And all those so-called Republican presidents, up until Reagan was kind of, but then his war on drugs just started to fuck up things. You know what I'm saying? But Republicanism is totally different than being what a lot of people think it is. It's adhering to the Constitution, and it's a whole nother conversation that you guys probably have to research on and everything. And like I said, I love Jack and Tom like they're, my extension of my family. Like, you probably feel, Pascal, I love you too as a brother.
Oh, all
And
day.
sometimes, and like I said, that's why it's so frustrating, because sometimes I just want to have that conversation with them. I want them to, but I want them to also understand that I don't know what your background is. I don't know where you lived throughout your life and so on and so forth, for your experiences. But when you're talking about Black issues, the Black experience is relevant, and if there are Black people that are saying, hey, look, there are 10 dumbasses on our block that are keeping hundreds of people from living their lives to the fullest, then something needs to be done about it. And you got some mayor that's trying to win political points by standing with Black Lives Matter or something. You're alienating the majority of the community to appease some criminals. Just like when Trump called those guys animals that were killing. They said, oh, why you call human beings? They're animals. Cutting people's heads off, killing kids, stabbing people, or cutting people up because it takes longer, so on and so forth. I mean, what world do we live in now where everything is fucking, I almost slipped his arm. Everything is backwards. Everything is upside down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sorry for the slip. I'll be like that guy on Ip Man. I pay. You see,
Ip Man, yeah.
I'll pay.
Yeah.
Pay.
Well, Tom, I want to hear your thoughts. So continue real quick.
Yeah, certainly. I have never lived in a predominantly Black community. I grew up in the suburbs. But everyone wants to get crime under control in this country. Democrats, Republicans, we may have different philosophies about it. Nobody wants crime to continue. I am just worried that this isn't going to really do anything. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'll be the first to admit it. But I just don't see this really doing anything. I think we're already really tough on crime in this country. We have a very high incarceration rate. And I don't think that, if Trump is really trying to bring people together or whatever, for him to call out Democratic cities, to call them Democratic cities, Tulsa has a Republican mayor. They have a higher crime rate than Albuquerque, yet he's calling out Albuquerque saying he's going to send troops in there. It just reeks of partisan politics to me. I hope it works. I hope something has to be done. Something has to be done about the violent crime rate and murders in this country. I just don't think this is it.
Well, attack Chicago first, and if it works in Chicago, it'll work anywhere else.
Well, we'll see if it works. I hope it does.
Yeah, and that's what
I have a lot of doubts.
And that's what I'm hoping for as well, that we're able to look at this, like this integration. Hopefully it is a proper and easy merge of two different forces working together. And hopefully something does work out with Chicago. I guess the only thing we can do, as we just said, is sit back, wait, and see what goes down, and how it goes down. So, Enemy Nation, thank you so much for being on today. It was nice to have you on.
Man. Yeah. And Enemy, definitely, we're going to be keeping your wife in mind. That's,
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Her mom just caught it, and her brothers had it. But her mom just caught it yesterday. So,
man.
She's probably going to have to go up to Houston and check on her mom tomorrow. So, but I will let her know. She's been like, "What's up with the Pascal show? You always on it." So I'm just like, "Hey, look,
you
I
like
love watching the show.
You're like, I love arguing with these idiots, basically."
No, it's never that. I love you guys. You know it.
Yeah, no.
We love you too, man.
Hey, the feeling's mutual, my brother. Seriously. Right, and thank you for being on, my brother. Thank you.
Anytime.
All right, man. Peace.
Later.
Take care.
But yes, yeah, that was our first ever video call.
Video call, yeah.
Actually.
Awesome.
But I'm not but that's the thing. I'm not surprised because it's Enemy Nation, so I'm not surprised. With Enemy Nation, I'm not surprised. You feel me? But I appreciate him coming on and just having that convo with us. That was really great. Do
you see the photo that's behind me?
Yes.
This is all like from 2 years ago or 3 years ago now that in all these cities, that's the active tracking of the main cartels in those cities. You can see those circles are all over the place along major highways, right? And in major cities and major states. The amount of cartel activity that is in the U.S., that regardless, maybe a lot of these lower income areas or things that people might be more inclined to maybe start selling drugs on the street, you got to look at where those drugs are coming from and who ultimately is benefiting. Because it's never the guy that's on the corner that's selling like the one bag. He's working for somebody who's working for somebody else that has a hookup with somebody else that's a major distributor. And it goes from, not just weed, but, heroin, meth, coke, everything in the mix that is there.
Yeah.
And it is major money that is involved in that. And even if you do shut down some of the lower level people that are going to do stuff, there's always going to be somebody else that can go and replace them. And the cartels are managing these cities that are having people that need money.
Yeah.
And right now, I think that it's probably even that much, a bigger issue, because people that are desperate, that were put out of jobs, that were put out of places, that were shut down, that got one check, but that lasted for how long?
Like 2 days.
And then they go and they're trying to provide for their family, and you can't get unemployment because the unemployment things aren't responding to people, or you're online for 37-hour hold or whatever it may be. Like, people are desperate.
Yeah.
Those opportunities are maybe be the easiest opportunities to be able to go get food for your family. And, there's always somebody at the bottom that needs help to get up. And the cartels are always around. And if somebody knows somebody, oh, yeah, well, hey, yeah, go talk to Mike. Maybe he can help you out, Maybe he can get you a little job. You can go help him out for a little bit. Do some running for him. I mean, there is, I have watched several documentaries on the amount of cartels that are out in L.A.
Oh, yeah.
I lived in L.A. I lived in Chicago. It is there's definitely one of those things where you're driving down one street and the neighborhood is great. You go down the next street and the cops are like, why are you driving over here? You should get out of this area. Like, there's, find, divides in major cities, especially Detroit too. It's I don't know what the answer is. Obviously the whole U.S. needs help from defending against outside organizations coming in to try to ruin our communities. And hopefully, with the power that's been given to Trump, it's used wisely.
Yeah.
That's all I hope.
It is very, very true. Like, people are desperate right now. We're in that time right now where people have applied for unemployment. Some people still haven't gotten their unemployment checks even. The stimulus check was supposed to, add some stimuli, and it didn't do anything. It was kind of like, it just kind of fell with it became a dud in a way. And don't get me wrong. I mean, some people, don't get me wrong, $1,200 is still $1,200. But for people who are still out of jobs right now, still out of work right now, that $1,200 is gone. That $1,200 is gone right now. And also, you got to play the fact of, you got to play that other side of it too, where there's a lot of cats out there that literally think that thought that, this is just a wave. Coronavirus is gone. Will be gone here soon. So I'm going to use this to buy some fun things. Let me go and buy a TV with it, or some sex toys or something like that report that we read on the show a long time ago. No, I'm not trying to say that to be funny. That is actually real, and that was true, and we did talk about it on the show. But some people didn't think about maybe saving that money or utilizing that money towards things that they need to take care of, like mortgage, so on and so forth. But now we're in a place right now, a lot of people that are that have been furloughed, or low-income families, low-income earning families, are sitting here just desperate. So I wouldn't be surprised if crime goes up in Chicago, or that there are gang-related issues that are going on, gang violence, all that, because of, everyone right now is desperate. Everyone is trying to survive and make money, or keep money. Right. We all got a family to feed. You know what I'm saying? Got a family to feed. Seriously, we all got lights that we got to keep on and food that we got to keep putting on the table. And when that stuff is gone, when your job is gone, where do you go? Where do you turn to? You know what I'm saying? Who do I run to? Like, where do you go? Most of the time, what you just said, Jack, you know, which is a shame. It's a damn shame. But them are the facts. So I'm interested to see what happens with when federal agents come in to Chicago. I'm praying and I'm hoping to the sweet baby Jesus above that it's a positive result, that it does better than anything else. But we just have to sit back, wait, and see, which is unfortunate. Because right now we only see Portland, Oregon, and that's not good. We're seeing the results right now. And, violence is never good. Regardless of where you sit politically, we all have to agree that violence on any person right now in Portland is not great. You know, the riots and the chaos that's going on over there is not good. Regardless of what you think, if you're going Trump all day long, he's got the right to do that. This is the right thing to do. That violence is still terrible. And I don't know if it's ever going to go down, or I don't know if it's ever going to slow down. But it's not a very good example of what I think. Like, it's not a very good example of what I think that a lot of us are. We're thinking that it's going to be the same rules are going to apply over in Chicago, which I think a lot of us are worried about. That it's just going to turn into chaos, fire and brimstone and a lot of violence. And I hope that's not the case. Jenny H just said something that was interesting. $1,200 equals out to about $7 a day. So that's like a pack of ramen noodles every day.
No, it's like 70 packs of ramen noodles. Let's be honest. Every day.
No, I mean, well, if you're going to no. If you're going to the dollar menu, if you're going to the dollar store, bet. But if you're going to the local store and you're getting those packs are usually like, I think they're 10 for $1.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. My bad. I messed up. My math was wrong. So you're right. Okay. Yeah. So like 70.
Everyone's supposed to be surviving on ramen right now. Didn't we know that?
Yeah, just eat ramen noodle every day. You know what I'm saying? And get that early onset of diabetes. Get that diabetes in your belly. Gotta love all that sodium too. And it's not even the good ramen, y'all. Man, I'll show you some good ramen one day. Good ramen. But anyway, yeah. So right now, federal agents in Portland, bad example. Bad example. But let's jump into some other conversations. We got a little bit more time here. I'm extending it a little bit today because of since we're not having a show tonight or tomorrow morning or the rest of this weekend. So we got some crazy, this is more lighthearted news, y'all, so that we can relax, tranquilo. Release some of that random pent-up anger and energy that we have. Because right now, we're all angry. We're all pissed off. We're all frustrated. Don't get me wrong. If it's not money, it's dealing with our loved ones, having fighting off the COVID while you're trying to dodge the COVID. Then you got the police, you got protests going on outside in the streets. And then you got just regular ass boredom. But interesting enough, the BC CDC has said something about glory holes. Tommy, speak on it.
Yeah, this is definitely a little more lighthearted news.
Thank you, please.
The CDC in British Columbia released a list of safer sex practices during COVID, and some of those were simple stuff like wear a mask, that sort of thing. One of them caught people's attention was that people should try using a glory hole to prevent airborne COVID from infecting people. And for those of you, well, should we explain what a glory hole is?
Might as well in the most PC way you can. Sure, why not?
Yes, a glory hole is a hole through which a man can put his genitalia in order to have sex with an anonymous person on the other side of a wall or bathroom stall. So British Columbia is suggesting if you want to cut down on airborne bacteria, using a wall with a hole sawed through it, it might be your best bet to not catching COVID while remaining sexually active in these trying times. So,
I hope it's okay. I brought my glory hole with me.
Right.
Is this too presumptive on our first date?
Can you imagine that? That's that's some wild stuff. Like, hey, I'm gonna set up this whole wall between us, and there's a hole in there, so that we don't have to get anything. But then also wear protection, even though you have a full-on wall protecting you as well. Like, it's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey guys, just in case, if you want to get it in.
Ridiculous.
Use a glory ridiculous. No, but I mean, it's like, if you want to get it in, all you fellas out there, all you ladies and germs out there that are trying to get it in on Tinder, use a glory hole. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where does that... I'm sorry. And there's a lot of people out there that are going, oh my God, what is a glory hole? There's a lot of people that don't even know what that thing is. And now everyone's Googling it and they're like, oh, so that's a glory hole. Like, come on, guys. Like, this is some... Come on, y'all.
Hey, no, don't say that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm done. I am done. And that's what he would say too. I'm done. I'm done. Hey. But see, that's the thing. That is just some weird stuff, y'all, that is going on in the world.
Don't search for glory hole.
Just don't. Like, please do not Google glory hole, because it's very unbecoming.
Hey.
Also, some other random ass news as well. Speaking of glory holes, we're going to slip over to the wonderful world of Texas. Now, shout out to Enemy Nation, because he lives in Texas. So I don't know if he's seen these, and maybe he can comment down below and let us know if he's actually seen these. But there are now, thanks to the COVID-19 situation, Houston is now the home of the very first drive-through strip club. If you're a fan of exotic dancers and eating in your car, then Vivid Gentlemen's Club is probably your kind of pandemic paradise. The struggling Houston-based strip club now has a drive-through. Yep. It's Burger King, only there's dancing involved. So there are black metal barricades that separate the dancers from the cars, and the dollar bills litter the asphalt between the white siding of the tent walls. The purplish bluish lighting casts a similar to the club goers ambiance over the scene, but obviously reminders of the pandemic remain. So some of the performers are wearing, actually wearing face masks while they twerk. So this is very real. Thumbs up, glory hole. Yes. So, yes, I approve this message. So this is a very real thing. So now guys can go pull up, get to see a little skin while they're ordering some burgers.
Would you like a side of glitter with that burger?
Would you like a side of glitter with that burger? So there is a lot of this going on, and I would love to know if Enemy Nation knows about this, because this is this is some crazy stuff. Like the fact that there is strippers on the side of their strip club, but then they're of course trying to make money, so they're serving food. So these guys are pulling up and they're doing like a slow drive-through, like a slow drive-by to see these girls do their job. And I can only imagine, like, real talk, how these women, you know, who a lot of these women are paid, like, as much as they say, oh, you know, I'm paying, this is how I'm paying to get through college, or this is how I pay my kids to go to school. I mean, there's a lot of women out there that make like a substantial amount of money performing in these gentlemen clubs. So I can only imagine what it is like for these women right now that are not able to work the way that they're used to working because of the COVID. You know, you can't get really into close proximity with people. You can't do lap dances. You can't do any of the private dances anymore. The poles, you got to make sure that they're properly sanitized every single time you get up on the stage. I mean, there's a lot to consider. And then also on top of that, they naked. So it's like, how do you do what you do if you are a professional at it? You know, because there's a lot of women out there that do this professionally. You know, how are they able to do it with the COVID floating around? It's crazy.
And then OnlyFans blew up.
I'm reading about this right now. I'm looking at a New York Post article. They mention that drivers can go through, get nachos, burgers, chicken sandwiches, jalapeno poppers. But what caught my attention here is they say, at this drive-through strip club, you can get an authentic Italian pizza that they claim is handmade in Italy, which is confusing until you realize that one of their dancers' names is Italy.
It's made in Italy or by Italy?
Wow.
It says handmade in Italy.
That's some interesting stuff. Bida boom. Babadoosh.
That's a
You know what I
photo
mean?
of the drive-through.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what I've been seeing on here. Yeah, that's literally the drive-through. So, and then I also think that wouldn't the girls get like sick from all that exhaust getting pumped out? And then also the other thing, which I find interesting, is that if you move out of the way a little bit, Jack, you can see that it's like they put these things on the hubcaps so that the cars don't get too close to the barricades. To the black barricade that's been put up. It's like all cars have those things that they apply onto the car. You see what I'm saying? Or unless those guys are just all about, you know, they're about that fast and furious lifestyle. But I doubt that. You know what I'm saying? They spin
One thing that's
it.
very.
But anyway,
Go ahead,
Jack. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
One thing that's very interesting to me about this is this finally gives customers control over what music the stripper is dancing to. So I can finally go to a strip club and have the girl dance to Yakety Sax, or, you know, my private song won't be 1 minute and 12 seconds long. I can play like a full album side by Pink Floyd.
I was gonna say Dark Side of the Moon for Tom, because that would be him all day long. Like this. Oh, you'd be spending like
you're
a
gonna
grand.
be dancing to Echoes by Pink Floyd. It's 25 minutes long. I hope you came prepared.
I'm done.
All these guys keep on going through the drive-through, and then there's cops that are sitting at the end of the drive-through. They're arresting everybody for, you know, touching themselves in their car. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
it's getting a special sauce.
Oh dear God. Yeah, so that's very much a thing. We asked the question out to Enemy Nation. He said, "I've been to many strip clubs. Houston has a ton, never a drive-through. So I don't think he's never been to one, but that is really a thing that's going on right now. So, you know, if you're in the Houston area, Enemy Nation, I don't want you to get in trouble or anything, but if you got a friend that's going to drive through that drive-through, tell them to please send us a video, because I'd love to see it in real time. I think that would be hilarious. You know, not saying that I want to see any scantily clad women. I just think it's weird to see how that is done. Like then there's so many other questions that pop up. Do they get to stay there for only one song? Do they get to sit there for the entire time? Because, when you go to a strip club, you can go in there and stay in there for hours. So how do you do that when you're doing a drive-through? You see what I'm saying? Like, are you... You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
How
back.
does that
I
get
need
done?
another order of fries.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, I forgot my Coca-Cola. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pulling up for my soda. I forgot my soda. I need napkins now. Napkins. Refill. I forgot my napkins. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
I guess it would be the only drive-through you wouldn't really be angry if it moves slowly. So there's a positive there.
Yeah. John, Caitlin just said, pro tip, don't eat food at strip clubs. I agree. But those wings, though, they're wings, though. No, I'm just kidding. It just doesn't seem.
They got that buffet.
Yeah, they got that buff. I don't know. But anyway, interesting information. What else is going on, man? What else is going on, Tom?
We got a little more humorous news here, I guess, kinda. Venice, the famous city with canals and gondolas.
Yes.
And they are now limiting the number. They're restricting the number of people that can get on a gondola from, I believe, 5 to 4 on the smaller ones, and then from 14 to 12 on the larger ones. Reason being is not for social distancing or COVID. It's that people are getting fatter. And what used to be 5 people now weighs as much as like 7 people. So they are now having to restrict how many people can be on a gondola at once. They said one of the quotes from the president of the Association of Substitute Gondoliers said, from some countries, it's like bombs loading on when the boat is fully loaded. The hull sinks and water enters.
That's
tourists are now so fat that when they go to Venice, they're sinking the gondolas. So they're having to limit how many people can get on the gondolas.
That's hilarious. Yeah, because everyone's got the COVID-15. You know what I'm saying? Everybody put on COVID-15. I feel like nowadays everybody needs to now, like, in the middle of the day, it just needs to be like almost like scripture. Like, everyone's got to stop what they're doing and do like 20 burpees. They just got to do 20 burpees every single day. Just do it. And just, you know what I mean? And they cannot stop. They cannot go back to what their regularly scheduled program of day is until they do all 20 burpees. I'm telling you, that'll keep people in shape. But right now, everybody's home chilling, not doing anything, saving up on money because they're not going out or doing anything at all. And then they're using that money, they're splurging so that they can go out to Italy or something crazy like that. Or the people in Italy that are actually living there have put on a considerable amount of weight because they've been all locked up. You know, that quarantine weight really gets everybody. It got me. You know what I'm saying? It got me hard. But then I finally, went back and just started, finally getting my life back in a way. So I can totally understand that. Maybe they should just shut off the gondolas for a little while, because you don't want to be you don't want an onslaught of people getting upset with you and claiming that you're fat shaming. You don't want that to happen either. I'm being real. That's something that could happen. Get ready for it because that could really happen. Anyway, we're going to go into a quick commercial break, and it's going to be a very, very quick commercial break. But when we come back, we got a little bit more news, and then, Oh, my God, that's hilarious, Jack. Oh, my God. That's because of COVID-15 right there, guys. See that COVID-15 pounds right there, y'all? That's what happens. Gondola's gone. Oh, my God. It's almost like, I won't let go. I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. You know what I'm saying?
What's that saying? We're going to need a bigger boat.
We're going to need a bigger boat for sure. We'll be right back. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Hey, take off.
Ms. Feinberg, I'd really appreciate it if you would close your legs.
Do you find it distracting?
Power, respect. The festival's crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers are trucking for tweakers and losing their circles. Their loves are unique. All of us under surveillance. We was a villain that made it. Half of them stolen the
see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. And as long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. You can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
You're gonna perform
I'm sorry,
tonight.
I can't make this interview boring because this
No,
man
it's
is
not
too
boring.
exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else so we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been a nice show today. The show's not over. We're not done yet, I promise. So don't hang up. You know what I mean? Don't what is that? Don't turn that dial, if you will. We do, I do appreciate Enemy Nation coming in and being on the show today. It was nice to see his face. You know what I'm saying? And I encourage people to do that if they're able to call in or video chat in on Skype. Please, we embrace that stuff as long as it's as long as you guys keep it clean. Enemy, we gotta work on that language stuff. But other than that, we embrace anybody who wants to come on and have a conversation and be on the show. Absolutely. Video wise, I would love to see some of you guys' faces, or all of your faces, actually, just to be completely straight funky. But real quick, I wanted to do a quick reminder because we didn't get to do that. We do have swag. We got that merch available. Okay. From now, or, till the end of this month. All right. To the end of time. We have a promo going on. If you type in Pascal in all caps in Teespring, you get 10% off of anything in the store. Anything that you buy in the store, you get 10% off. And if you type in grounds, you get free shipping on any coffee mug that you buy on Teespring on our page. So please go to teespring.com/stores/the-Pascal-show and go and get yourself some new drip and some grounds and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we would love the support, first off, and second, I just love seeing people sending me photos of coffee mugs and T-shirts and all that. It just really means a lot. And then we are working on some more other pieces of products, like some other T-shirts from sayings and stuff like that will be on the page here in the very near future. But anyway, we are gonna do a trivia because I wanted to do some trivia with you guys. But the thing is that what I wanted to know is that what would you like to do trivia on today? Because I mean, here it is. Jack is the master and the trivia fanatic. And so he was asking us during the break, hey, what kind of what kind of trivia do you want this? What would be the subject of trivia be? So I'm going to throw it out to you guys and comment down below. Let us know what you think in regards to what would be a fun trivia to wrap up our show for today. But before we go into that, or before we go into trivia, which is what we're going to go off of what you guys say on the show live today, we got to talk about this thing. We were going to talk about it last night, and we need to talk about it today. Kanye West has been going through some things. Obviously, we're seeing him struggling. You know, I hate to say that he's been on the struggle bus, but he really has been on the struggle bus for the past for a little while now. Ever since the day that he announced that he was running for president in 2020. So there's been a slew of tweets that he's been putting out on the daily that have been really, really bad, where he's bashing the Kardashians, he's bashing his own wife. You know, we've seen a whole bunch of them. Now, the thing is that we've all been sitting here, all of us, y'all, you know, you guys can definitely agree with me on this, where everyone, the general public, has been saying, you know what, where's Kim? No one's hearing from Kim. So apparently, recently, or yesterday, right after the show, she put out a tweet. Tom, you got the tweet?
Yeah, she tweeted out on her Instagram stories yesterday. She said, as many of you know, Kanye has bipolar disorder. Anyone who has this or has a loved one in their life who does knows how incredibly complicated and painful it is to understand. I've never spoken publicly about how this has affected us at home because I am very protective of our children and Kanye's right to privacy when it comes to his health. But today I feel like I should comment on it because of the stigma and misconceptions about mental health. She went on to call her husband brilliant but complicated. She said, I understand Kanye is subject to criticism because he is a public figure and his actions at times can cause strong opinions and emotions. He's a brilliant but complicated person who, on top of the pressures of being an artist and a black man, who experienced the painful loss of his mother and has to deal with the pressure and isolation that is heightened by his bipolar disorder. Those who are close with Kanye know his heart and understand his words sometimes do not align with his intentions.
Yeah.
So she, that's what she tweeted out yesterday.
And I said too that the Keeping Up with the Kardashians is not filming any of this to include in their season. They want to have it not present and not captured.
Yeah.
For her kids to see later on in life.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you got to remember, he's saying...
Kanye Chappelle, 2024.
That would be interesting as hell. But you got to remember, like, you know, I think that, one, he's sitting there saying all this stuff like, oh, you know, I was trying to divorce her. He also said something in regards to which people have been interpreting it as him accusing Kim of cheating on him with Meek Mill, because she met up with him to talk about prison reform or something like that. And the thing is I feel like right now, you know, mental illness is not a joke. It is some really serious stuff. And I feel that what he was saying was just stuff that had to do with his mental state. I don't think it had anything to do. I don't think he really wants to divorce her. I don't think he's trying to divorce her for 2 years. I think that he is having a mental breakdown live on Twitter in front of the public eye. And I think that, unfortunately, at one point, at someday, he will hopefully look back at this and realize that he was in a bad place and that he needed the help that, you know, that he learned from that moment. And thank God that the show isn't taking this and using this as an opportunity to turn on the cameras and just show him slip into his depression and into his disorder even more. So I'm hoping that she plays full court press on this situation. You know, getting on Twitter and saying that was great. And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of other stars that have been that have come out to say certain things in regards to, yes, I deal with bipolar disorder as well. This has not been an easy thing. People need to like stop getting on his butt about things and let the man have some time to heal. And I agree with that. But I don't know if Kim Kardashian is really doing enough right now. It feels like she just put out a tweet. Fine. You put out a tweet, great. And that was very well said, beautifully written. We understand that you and your family are hurting and need some time to be there for him so that he can heal. But you need to be there for him. Instead of hearing that Dave Chappelle is getting on a plane flying out to see him, we should be hearing Kim Kardashian got in a plane, flew out there, and is playing full court press and trying to save her husband's mental health. That's what I think. But this stuff is no joke. And I would hate for her or for him to suddenly get thrown in to a hospital or a facility against his will, like a 5150. I would hate for something like that to happen. I think it would be better if he was to admit himself voluntarily, you know, and then maybe he finally goes on some meds and gets right. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they can, hopefully their family can figure things out together for their own, just on their own family stuff. Obviously, he's trying to he's already in the public eye. They both are, but they have their own public, private things going on right now. Yeah. And hopefully they can figure it out and that he gets the help that he needs and that everything can go back to normal for him, I guess.
Right. Now, yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really difficult situation. I mean, I think, for anybody that has friends or family that have bipolar disorder, I mean, you have to feel for Kanye and Kanye's family and his close friends. It's not a fun thing to see someone struggle with bipolar or any sort of mental illness, but bipolar's is a very it's a hard one to see someone go through specifically. Just to, it's very tough to see. So I don't know what's the right situation. I don't know if he's out in Wyoming specifically because he doesn't want to be near Kim Kardashian. I don't know why she's not going out and visiting him. I mean, but it could be that he said, please don't come visit me. Stay where you are. I don't know everything that's going on behind the scenes, but people that are going through the throes of bipolar disorder say and do a lot of things that if you don't know that they have that would make them seem like the biggest a-hole on the planet. Mm-hmm. But they're not. They just have an illness. And so I hope it gets sorted out one way or another. It seems like, it just seems like an ongoing struggle for him. It seems like ever since his mother died, it seems like, it seems like the times where he's more measured are becoming less and less. It seems like these kind of outbursts are becoming more and more common as he gets older. And I hope he can get it under control.
Yeah, I'm hoping the same thing too. John Caitlin just asked, he said, question, does the bipolar fuel his genius? It's a very good question. I think yes, and I think no. But I think so I think yes, to a certain extent. It allows him to think outside the box in a certain way. But I think that he is just innately a talented and creatively gifted human being. So I think he'd be able to do what he needs to do if he was on proper medication. Now, I know that he probably thinks that, the way I feel right now is what helps me stay completely in this genius mindset. And, you know, by taking these meds, it's hurting me instead of helping me. And but I think it's a feeling and a sensation he's not used to. So he hasn't gotten a chance to really give it a real chance to see if it actually balances things out in a way. But then again, I can't really say much because, you know, I don't deal with that. I'm not on any type of medication for any type of mental illness. So who's to say what I say, you know? I have no place to say anything on that. But I do feel that I would assume that he's probably going, well, this is muffling my genius, my creativity, and I need to be back to what I am. I need to feel normal so I can continue making great music. You know, and I think, yeah, I you know, at this time, I feel like it is a thing where we all just need to step back and just put out positive thoughts and let them do what they need to do in regards to taking care of Kanye, you know, which is it's still just a sad issue. Now, you also got to remember, Kim already knew about this. She'd been knowing about him and his bipolar disorder. This is not like this is some surprise for her.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, she's been dealing with him. She's married to him. So it's not like he's just suddenly out of nowhere acting this way. He's been acting this way way before she was even in his life. So it's something that we're just going to have to hope for and pray for. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Somebody just put in a question on Facebook, and I'm just I'm blazing through it, so I don't know what the thing is, but I'm going to read it out loud. De La Cruz Perez Sylvia, thank you so much for commenting on Facebook, said, what can I do? Okay. My brother, he was released from prison on parole. He finished with parole. He went back to live I guess he went back to live at his old town. Sorry. We live 6 to 7 hours apart. That was loose since growing up. I don't know. There's been too much drama in that town. I told him that he needs a new start, but there is a it here. I don't know what this is. He needs anger management. He says that he's okay. In my family, my dad's side of the family, we have mental health. We have a mental health issue, I guess. Some of us have ADHD or bipolar or anxiety. Sorry, I guess I'm trying to translate this because it's kind of jumbled up. I want him to come live with me, but I told him, okay, you have to go to anger management classes. What should I do? Well, if he has you're doing exactly what I think is the right thing to do. So if you have somebody who has anger issues in your family and has shown quite a bit of that, definitely shown themselves to be consistently having that kind of problem, then yeah, I think what you just said is the right thing. Like, hey, I want you to come home, stay with me, or like come back and stay with me. But the only deal, this is the deal. You come here, but you're taking anger management classes. I think that is the best way to do what you need to do to make sure that your brother, doesn't cause it, so that it doesn't cause any more issues when, say, he's at your home. If he is taking the steps towards making a better life for himself by taking those, if by him taking those classes is going to help him have a better life, and be able to pursue life in a much more calm and better fashion, then absolutely, I think that's the right thing to do for sure. But at the same time, unfortunately, you can't force your brother to do this. This is something that he has to make a decision on his own on. You know, all you can do is really put the question out there and see if he is interested in doing that, right? That's what needs to happen. But if he is already doing very violent things, that's when you start to step in and maybe add a little bit of force, if that makes any sense. But I don't think if he's just having anger issues and you see these little moments, then you put the question out there and that offer on the table for him to make the choice to take it or not, and hopefully he takes it. That's what I'll say.
There's resources that are out there in the community too. If you look up, I think it's SAMHSA, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. They work at the Health and Human Services Agency, but they have intervention services that are available out there too. So if somebody's in a really bad situation and a family doesn't know how to intervene into it, they can contact these organizations and they can assist you with doing a psychological intervention. So
it's good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the most important thing is keep yourself safe. And if any, you never know how these things are going to turn out. So I mean, if he is truly violent, don't put yourself. We all want to help family members, but at the same time, don't put yourself, in harm's way. If he truly has uncontrollable rage and anger that turns violent, keep yourself safe.
Yeah. And, one thing that John Caitlin just said, which is true, and I agree with this as well. He said, you definitely, so De La Cruz, you definitely got to hold him accountable for the classes and set them up before he moves in, so that as soon as he walks in the door, he's already got the classes to walk into and start going and attending. And if it's something that because she just said, De La Cruz just said, he's always angry at everything. So if he's already a very angry human being, then there's something else going on. So maybe it's not just anger issues. There's probably something that happened in the past or something recent even that has shook him to the core. And maybe him sitting down and talking to somebody might be the best choice for your brother. So I would say, not only the anger management classes, but maybe he needs to go and sit down and talk to a therapist. That's the other way. That's the other option that he could have as well. But I would say before he even steps in the door, make sure that the classes or a therapist is already set up and ready to go, so that right when he puts his bags down, the very next day, he is in that class or he is sitting in front of a therapist talking out his issues and trying to figure himself out, But thank you for that comment, and thank you for the question. I do appreciate that. We don't get those kind of questions very often, but, I'm all about getting those kind of questions out more often for sure. Do I know the words to Distant Lover by Marvin Gaye? No, I do not. I do not know the words to by heart, Distant Lover. But anyway, good question though, Enemy Nation. I gotta listen to that song again. It's been a long time. Anyway, let's play a quick game, and then we gotta wrap this bad boy up. Because where is it?
Okay, first question. Do you know the words to Distant Lover by Marvin Gaye?
Distant Lover. That's all I got. I don't know it.
There you go. You got the first line done. All right, so what we're going to do is just some easy trivia questions. I'm going to challenge your general knowledge and see how smart you are, SMRT. And let's see what we can do. We'll go with some breaking news trivia here first for you.
Okay.
Who will Mike Tyson be fighting in his first exhibition match?
I mean, holy
Confirmed.
Oh,
I know this one.
confirmed. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who is it, Tom?
As Roy Jones Jr.
Correct.
Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, we'll be doing an 8-round exhibition match against him in September. On September 12th.
I didn't know
Hey,
that.
that's my birthday.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, put some money down on him. Or against him. Whatever you think, Tom.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I know what I'm doing on my birthday then.
That's right.
Pirating that feed.
Yes.
No kidding. Figgity facts, baby.
Tyson might come for you. You better watch out.
I'll just wear earmuffs.
There we go.
Yep.
All right, so here we go. We're going to go with some general trivia questions here. How many continents are there in the world?
Oh, what is it? 7?
Pascal, what's your guess?
I was going to say 8.
Oh, there's 7.
Ah.
Thank God.
In which country is the K2 mountain present?
Ooh. Wait,
K2
in which country?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I think I know this.
Take your guess.
Is it Nepal?
Incorrect.
Oh, shoot.
Pascal?
What country?
Starts with a P. 3, 2, 1. Pakistan.
It's Pakistan.
Pakistan. All right.
There we go.
Huh.
Yes.
Pakistan.
Let's see here. What is professional wrestler John Cena's catchphrase?
Can't see me.
Correct.
That's right.
At least got
Okay.
that. Dang.
What is the regulation height for a basketball hoop?
10 feet.
Correct. Okay. Which team did the Chicago Cubs play in the 1945 World Series?
Come on. Come on.
We've been talking about the city for a while today. Enemy Nation talked about it a lot. The Detroit Tigers.
Oh, sorry, I'm not.
What year was the first Super Bowl played? I'll give you a plus or minus 2 years.
1971.
Pascal, what's your guess?
I was going to say 72.
Ooh, even further away. 1967. Okay. What is the highest score possible in 10-pin bowling?
What's the highest score possible?
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Top?
Let's see. 170? I don't know.
Hey,
300.
300.
Oh,
I was gonna say
is a perfect game.
I was gonna say 300.
Okay.
Damn it. Hey,
I'm not a bowler.
Hey, real quick, Ducky Momo just said, "Why all men stuff?" So throw
all
throw
men
some
stuff. I didn't know that sports were just men.
I thought I didn't know either, but throw in some female stuff, some female heavy stuff. Let's get it. That'd be that would be a fun trivia, female centric trivia to us men who probably have no clue what it is. That would be fun. All right, let's do it.
Which river flows through London?
Oh, the Thames.
Correct.
The Thames.
What is the name of the bear in the Jungle Book?
Oh shoot.
Baloo.
Yeah,
correct.
That was just a.
I'm going to find a womanly question here. Oh, how did Greta Gustafsson become better known as an actress?
Greta who?
Greta Gustafsson. How did she become better known as an actress?
Greta Garbo?
Correct.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Let's see. I'm going to go with San Antonio International Airport is in which state? Texas. Correct.
That's very female, by the way.
Yeah. Who is Luke and Leia's mother?
Padme Amidala.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct. Okay. How many points does a snowflake traditionally have?
How many points? 5?
6.
6. Okay, here's a long one. Can you name the 8 original reindeer?
Oh, wow, we're going there. So, hold on. Dasher, Vixen, Comet, Donner?
Dahmer? With Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer. He's like, the entire time.
Come on.
Blitzen? And that's it. I don't know the rest.
There's Blitzen and Comet and Cupid and Dasher and Prancer
Cupid!
and Vixen and Dancer and
Prancer!
Donner.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
Okay, let's see. What breakfast cereal was Sonny the Cuckoo Bird used in?
Say that again?
What breakfast cereal has Sonny the Cuckoo Bird involved with its cereal brand?
Oh. Yeah, I know this one.
Say it.
Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yeah.
Let's see. Why was the Animal Crackers box designed with a string handle?
Oh,
So-
I know this.
So that kids can carry it on wherever they go. Oh.
Christmas ornaments.
Yes.
Really?
It was introduced in 1902 as a Christmas novelty. And
That's
packaged so they could be
hilarious.
hung from Christmas trees.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Sorry, John. Sorry, John. I watched my language. Sorry. Earlier I said, damn it.
What is a red snapper, better known as?
Fish.
A drink called the red snapper.
I was like, fish. What is it better known as? Red snapper.
Like maybe a Shirley Temple?
Nope.
I was going to say like maybe a Cosmopolitan.
Nope. Bloody Mary.
Oh, wow.
Let's
That's
see.
funny.
What was the first of H.J. Heinz's 57 varieties?
Say that again one more time.
What was the first of H.J. Heinz's 57 varieties? We all know ketchup is one of them. But what was the first?
Mustard?
Nope.
Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
I'm going to say
No.
nay to that.
No, I was just making it up.
I'm going to say nay to that.
Oh, horseradish.
Correct. In 1869.
69. Hey. I'm 12 years old. Hey.
What fruits were crossed to produce the nectarine?
An orange and a nectarine.
Tangerine?
Nope. It's a trick question. None. The nectarine is a smooth-skinned variety of the peach.
Shut the
What nation produces 2/3 of the world's vanilla?
What? Say that again?
What nation produces 2/3 of the world's vanilla?
Enemy nation.
Hey.
I'm kidding. I don't know.
I'll guess like Brazil.
Madagascar.
Madagascar. What the hell? Come on, man. I wouldn't have thought that at all. Madagascar. What nation? The Trump nation. The MAGA nation. I mean, like, what? I mean, come on. Okay, go ahead.
How many more do you want here?
Let's do like 3 more, just for good old fun sake.
Which George
Trash.
wrote Crazy for You?
Which George?
Uh-huh.
Which Crazy for You? But which Crazy for You? Madonna
you.
Crazy for You? Or
Back, that's not a George, is it?
You. What?
Yeah, the other one.
The other one.
Golly. Hey, what's up, Scrappy? Thank you so much for checking out the show. New guy here. He just commented. Comment down below and let us know where you are watching the show from. We would love to know. Okay, Crazy for You. So then
Big musical.
George Weber Chevrolet. George
GG.
Oh, George Gershwin.
Correct. Sheesh.
In which decade did Godspell open on Broadway?
60s.
Nope.
70s.
70s.
It was the 70s? Dang.
Yep. Okay, and we'll do the last one here. Which film director was involved in a long-running custody battle for his children with Mia Farrow?
Oh, come on.
Allen.
Woody Allen.
Correct.
That's hilarious.
So, there we go.
So
congratulations
dramatic.
on getting some of those right.
Yeah. Trivia.
I'm just glad I got the continents right. That's one that I was 99% sure I knew, but yeah. That's the spring in my step I needed today, was knowing how many continents there are, having a third grade understanding of the world.
Oh my God. Oh, man. Anyway. All right, that wraps up the show. Guys, thank you so much for being on today and being a part of the convo today. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for having us.
It's funny because every time I say thank you guys for being on here, I'll be like, thanks guys for being on the show today. There's like a huge dead silence between you guys, and then suddenly out of nowhere, it's like, yep, no problem. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know you were talking to us.
I'm talking to you. I'm like, thanks guys for being on today. Yep.
Thanks for having us.
I'm done. Yep. No problem, Jack. Enemy Nation said grunge band trivia. That would be kind of fun.
That would be.
I wouldn't know anything except for like Nirvana, and that's it. And Foo Fighters, because I like Foo Fighters. That's some good workout music. You know, Foo Fighters is good workout music. But other than that, I don't know much grunge. Who killed Kurt Cobain? That could be another one too. Trivia. There's a lot of people who think it's what's her face? I'm forgetting.
Courtney Love.
Courtney
yeah.
Love. Thank you. I don't know why I forgot that, but anyway, that'd be fun. We should do that next time. Maybe on Monday or something like that. Musical Mondays. Anyway, so Tom, Jack, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks, Pascal.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh man, I'm my camera's getting all sloppy. Anyway, and everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning in, being a part of the show today. Enemy Nation, thank you so much for coming in and being a part of the video chat. That was a nice surprise. Anyway, we got to get things moving. We got to go. I will not be on for the rest of this week, but I will try to do a pop-up video of some sort sometime over this weekend and everything, or I might stream live randomly where I'm at. So just be on the lookout for it. I'm going out of town, and you might see I might stream literally in the middle of a lake. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna just kind of roll with it as I go. But anyway, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you can, share with your friends. Let people know about this show. That would really, really mean a lot. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of this weekend as well. I'll see you guys in these next videos. And if I don't see you this weekend, I will see you guys Monday at 9 a.m. right here on The Pascal Show. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. I'll see you guys soon. Much love to you guys. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Hey, take off the
Ms. Feinberg, I'd really appreciate it if you would close your legs.
Do you find it distracting?
Power, respect. The festival is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers and trucking for tweakers and losing their circles. Their loves are unique. All of us under surveillance. People surveillance, they made it. Half of them stumbling around and they faded. They live in the world that's degraded for people that's constantly hated.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. I mean, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Big guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.